What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to Behind the Arc Basketball on YouTube. So this video is just a follow-up about my first video that I published back on Saturday about the UConn Huskies. So we were all waiting for the announcement, and now it has happened, as it is official. The UConn Huskies basketball team will be back playing in the Big East Conference. Today's announcement officially introduced UConn as the 11th member in the Big East. UConn played in the Big East Conference from 1979 to 2013, but then joined the American Athletic Conference after the 2013 Big East realignment when 7 Catholic schools from the Big East, those schools were Providence, St. John's, Seton Hall, Villanova, Georgetown, Marquette, and DePaul, who all voted to leave the conference to focus on basketball, but also to get away from playing teams that were part of the FBS football schools, as those teams that were part of the FBS football schools were all non-Catholic schools that were left out of the new Big East. Those schools were UConn, Cincinnati, South Florida, along with Louisville, which now plays in the ACC, and Rutgers, which now plays in the Big Ten. All those schools right there that I just said were all moved to a new league called the American Athletic Conference back in 2013. The American then added more teams that came in from Conference USA, such as Houston, Memphis, and Central Florida, to name a few of those teams. Today's announcement regarding UConn's readmission back to the Big East stated that the Huskies will participate in the Big East for 20 out of the league's 22 sports. The question that still remains about UConn, though, is their football program. If UConn's football team decides to keep on playing at the FBS level, it would be the first FBS program in the new Big East after the 2013 realignment to play at the FBS level for football. Villanova and Georgetown have college football programs, but they do play down a level below as FCS teams. Sources told ESPN that it is unlikely that UConn will remain in the American Conference with just football. It was also stated by a source that UConn could go independent for football at the FBS level following its final season in 2019 playing in the American. Honestly, I think that going independent for UConn is the best bet as a football program. Their closest neighbors to the north at the FBS level also plays as an independent right now. That is the UMass Minutemen, as UMass has played as an independent now for 4 straight seasons. They were from 2012 to 2015. They did play in the MAC for those seasons, but then they moved back to an independent football program. So I believe that UConn playing as an independent would be really the best bet, especially after they finished last season with a record of 1-11. I think that it's best that they get to choose who they can play on the schedule as an independent instead of getting games scheduled in the American Athletic Conference, where they'll get crushed by some of those teams who have been in the top 25 playing in the American, such as UCF and Houston. And also in my previous video, I stated that UConn's basketball team would start Big East play during the 2020-2021 season. However, the Big East stated today that the year of entry will be determined on a later date, so we don't know for real what that date is that UConn will be admitted into the Big East. But according to the New Haven Register, the earliest that UConn can join the Big East is on July 1st, 2020. Now, I know that head coach of the UConn men's basketball team, Dan Hurley, he's really excited to start out Big East play for UConn now. This will help UConn out a ton towards traveling now. They don't need to go to Tulsa and Houston to play games. They can just take a nice short bus trip over to their conference rivals, the Providence Friars, and I cannot wait for some of the teams that UConn takes on. And also, this will help out UConn a ton out with recruiting, bringing in big-time prospects from high school, which will get them back to their powerhouse big boy basketball that they used to be, winning national titles back in the 2000s and stuff like that. They're going to be a top contender now since they're back into the Big East. They're going to be taking on the big and best teams from the conference like Villanova. So this is going to be awesome to see with the UConn Huskies once again a step up back into a power conference. The UConn Huskies should have had this 6 years ago. They should have been playing in the Big East. There should have been no American Athletic Conference for them. That's really when they started playing in the American. That's where the attendance dropped. That's where they weren't able to get the best recruits right out of high school. I think that this is going to be a huge step up for UConn, and it puts them right back on the national platform to be one of those national title contenders like they were in the 2000s, like teams like Duke, North Carolina, Kansas, and Kentucky. So I've got Connecticut back on that level once again. So super duper excited, especially me, since I live right outside of Providence to catch a UConn versus PC game in the future. I'm so excited about this UConn being readmitted right back in to the Big East. If you haven't done so already, make sure to watch my other video. I'll put that one down in the description down below. That's the video that I recorded this past Saturday. That has my full opinion of UConn's move back to the Big East. And that is basically a wrap to my video. So UConn back to the Big East once again. Make sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe to Behind the Arc Basketball on YouTube. And for your best basketball news here in the off-season, college and NBA, stay in the know here with Behind the Arc Basketball on YouTube.